Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live.
Good health, everyone, and how are you doing today? And welcome. It is Sunday morning, and we are here to invest and enjoy breathing, waking up, and embracing what we want to invite into our lives now. Have you ever asked that way for your blessings? I invite and then invite something into your life. I invite love into my life. I invite good friends. I invite peace, right? The older I get, the more peace I want. Um, I invite quality into my life, right? Have you ever invited something into your life and then watch it come for you? You could do it right now. Invite something into your life. Invite happiness. Invite kindness. Invite excitement. Oh, that would be nice, right? Something exciting and exhilarating to happen. Hmm? Invite fun into your life. Invite joy into your life. Let me get my speaker. Give me 1 second. I have my speaker, by the way. Oh, it's right here. Yay! We are in the book Company of Prophets, and we are on page 174. And we are going to. Hmm, we are going to. I think this book is about rites and passages. I think it's 174 we are on. I'm pretty sure. Excuse me. But before we continue, I just wanted to play something off of IG. Maybe I could just send it to you. Maybe it could be a visual. Oh, shoot. I didn't save it. I do this all the time. I didn't save it. I really wanted y'all to hear this one. Why does God do this to me? All right. If it comes back my way, I'll play it. Um, okay. I am not going to find it. Oh, oh, hi, Big Game Chicks. Oh, you look so cute. You look adorable. Yes. Love the hair. Okay. I'm disappointed in myself. All right. I won't be so hard on myself. Because I didn't save it, and I definitely didn't save it to myself. Oh, okay. All right. I do that a lot, but I did want you guys to hear an inspirational message. So I'm the best you got. But I do love IG because there's hi black coffee no cream because there's a lot of inspirational messages that come across my feed. I just love it. So one came across just before I started the show, but IG has a terrible habit of refreshing the feed, and that's how I lost it. I saved it, but I should have sent it to save it. So it is what it is. The other thing IG doesn't do your history. And I wish they had a button for your history. All right, it is what it is. If something comes across, I have to do better at saving it. That's the bottom line. I just have to do better. All right, let's get started, guys. I feel like a teacher. Let's get started. We're going to get started on page 174, I believe. And I love this. Okay. She went searching to understand her gift better. Born with the veil. She had heard voices and seen visions since childhood. She had been told by a spiritualist she was going to do the work. In Haiti, where she first traveled, there were no clues for her. Then, on a second trip to Brazil, Mary Bivens sat at a table with Portuguese spiritualists. A translator was there who asked everyone to do what they could do. She prayed. When Mary was through praying, they told her she was ready for the work and to go home and do the work. I do mine through prayer. I work through prayers, Mother Mary Bivens affirms. Give me 1 second. I just gotta find a highlighter. Oh, okay, I'm back. I work through prayers, Mother Mary Bivens affirms. I was strictly working with spirit whenever the spirit led me to do. Whatever the spirit led me to do, I did. Wherever the spirit led me to go, I went. The way I work with the spirit and the guides. There is a guide for everything. That's interesting. I didn't know that. There's a guide for everything. Isn't that interesting to us? Interesting. I work with the hills, the mountains, the rivers, the lakes, the oceans, the canals, the railroad, and the road crossings. I had to go to these places. I went as far as Colombia, South America, up in the mountains, just wherever the spirit would lead me to go. That's what I did. I did everything I had to do. I had rituals. I went through rituals and everything. A man deep in litigation came to her for help. Discerning his innocence, she agreed. The night the man's case went before the jury for a verdict, he called Mary from court. They were in there cursing, banging, and going on. I am frightened. Mary said, okay. And then she went into her prayer room. And then she went into her prayer room. I got down on my knees and I began to pray and cry out to God. What is it I'm not doing? Show me what I have to do. Spirit said, you have to get in your car and go down to the jailhouse. Up to that point, Mary had not gone there. When I got there, I saw. When I got there, I said, what am I to do now? And the Spirit said, just stand here and pray. I stood there and prayed. I wasn't 30 minutes when I looked up and saw the cameras flashing and people running. And he saw me. He ran to me and he said, God is so good. We did it. I'm a free man. Mary grows herbs in her backyard for use in cleaning baths and rituals. Spirit directs her in making remedies for the spiritual and physically sick. I thank God for what he has done for me. Young professional people in Miami, where she resides, turn to her with their troubles, some of them wanting to know more about Christ and to join her prayer band. These individuals have worked with Mother Mary Bivens in community projects such as helping the youth obtain jobs. She has participated with medical school staff at the University of Florida as a consultant for indigenous healing. She visits hospitals and prays for the sick. even if they don't get a physical healing, to get a mental healing. If you learn to live with your sickness, you can survive. I love the way some of these end kind of awkwardly, the stories. But I do want to point out a couple of things in the story. When she said there's a guide for everything, a spiritual guide for everything. That's new knowledge for me, but I love knowing that. And I can't imagine that there's a guide that's an expert in one area and another that's an expert in another area of your lives. So I love knowing that. When she said she went into her prayer room, there's a movie, can't remember the name of the movie. It might be called The Prayer Closet. The name of the movie. One of my favorite movies ever. If I can find it. Yeah. Such a good movie. I would watch it over and over again. Oh, it's called The War Room. That's what it's called. The War Room. And if you could find The War Room, I don't know where it's being played. Let me find out for you, because it's just easier. When I tell you, this is probably my favorite movie ever. It was made in 2015, which is not too far removed from where we are today. So I like that it's recent. I like that it's recent. Let me see where I can watch it. It's so good. And if you guys could watch it and watch it with your family, it was made with the Kendrick brothers. They like to do religious movies. So cool. They're so cool. Where to watch The War Room. It's on Amazon. Not everybody has Amazon. It's on Amazon. Oh, it might be on Netflix. Check out Netflix. So far, it looks like it's on Amazon and Netflix. Can I tell you, this is such a good movie? This is one of those movies that on a good Sunday, I would Zoom this and invite everyone into the Zoom for free. Maybe not for free. I always give away shit. Maybe for $5. I'm always giving stuff away. I know y'all love it, but I don't know. I don't always feel like I should be giving so much away for such cheap prices. Hi, Bree. Happy loving Sunday. God loves miracles and blessings to you all this morning and this new week, right? And blessings and miracles to you. How have you been? Black Coffee and Bree. How have you guys been? And everyone else who's not coming through, how have you been? How's this week been? This was the last week of Mercury retrograde shadow period. It officially ended on Thursday. Official. And how did you all survive Mercury retrograde? Because it really tried to get us. It was nipping on our heels. It was trying to get us so badly. but it looks like most of us survived, and I'm of gratitude. All right. Let me know how you guys survived. Mercury retrograde. So the last thing is the prayer room. And the prayer room, I think that if you dedicate a space in your house that is the corner of prayer, the closet of prayer, and try to create a prayer room. Try. You know how we have like so much shoes and clothes and closets, stuff in our closets. And first of all, most of us need to purge our closets. Let's just start there. But the second thing is maybe to create a space with a stool and a wall and create a prayer room, right? It could be a room underneath the stairs. You know how we have that awkward space underneath the stairs? It could be your closet, your kid's closet. Like, think about it. Think about creating a space that's meant just for prayer and quietude. I haven't done it here, right? Where I live right now in this space, but you know, I do have actually, I do have a space I could make into my war room. It's where I keep my altar. Oh my goodness. I would have never thought of this space. Look at God. In any case, but look at God. This is a space where if you save affirmations that you see on IG and you go to this space and sit down and dedicate 5 minutes to listening some of the affirmations that come to you on IG, on YouTube. You know, a lot of times, I'm not a fan of reading anymore, to be honest with everyone. I read a book, but I force myself to read. You know, the world has changed, and so reading is not a thing like it used to be. But I force it upon myself, which is why I do the book club. And then I make y'all do the book club with me. Get the book, read with me. Um, and so you could even, you know, put a prayer from YouTube, a song. There are thousands of songs with soothing voices that you could take 5 minutes of your day, sit down, and seriously dedicate to God. And this way, you're not dedicating the time when you need God, right? Because prayer is like, oh, I got to get down on my knees when I need Him. But this way, you're just learning to dedicate to God in a state of feeling okay. Like, I don't really need nothing from you, God. Like, it would be nice to sit down with God when you don't need something and just play a song on YouTube, you know, out loud. Like, let the voice, the words put on your speakers with reverberates through the household. I mean, consider it. Consider creating a space that is just between you and God. And it could be a closet. I've never created one here, but I thought about creating a space, but sometimes you just forget. And so now this is when she said the prayer room, I was like, oh, it's coming up again because it's come up in the last 3 years. And I do have an altar where I do everybody's candles, my candles too. And I could definitely make this space my prayer room. I mean, it's still out in the open, it's still in the living room, but I could get one of those accordion things to block it off, which I might do anyways. And I could make this space, because it's literally a table from wall to wall. It's an awkward space. Ciao, in the Caribbean, there's awkward spaces. You have no idea. And I could do something like that. It'd be nice to do. I can order the accordion thing from Temu or Shein or whatever. I might do that. Oh, it's funny how reading to you all is also inspiring for me too. I think God talks to me through you all. And that's nice, you know? Hi, sister. How are you? And Bree says this week has been trying, but I am so grateful. All right. Did you manage the trying week though? Because this was the last of Mercury retrograde. And if you know it, then you're like, nope, not participating in the crazy. I went back to work at the hotel, and working at a hotel, there's just things that just can unravel very quickly. And the whole week I was like, nope, this is Mercury retrograde, not doing this. Staying in control of my mental health, my spirit. Everybody else can go crazy, and I'm going to watch them and be like, oh, interesting. Oh, look at that level. I'm not diving into the pool and water of crazy. Nope. And I didn't. And it was very trying to breathe. But I was like, I'm not the one. And more importantly, because I know the planets. I know what it can do to you. So once you know, hey, if you don't know, imagine like not having enough knowledge about the planets and how it affects you. And you're just operating organically, raw. Jesus Christ, like you'll never grow, And so I'm grateful. So I will tell you right now, the person I love to watch the most is Molly McCoy. Let me tell you who the people that I watch the most. But I gotta get some Black people in my spiritual YouTube repertoire. Let me see. Pluto retrograde 2024. All right. Pam Gregory is also another favorite of mine. Molly McCoy, Pam Gregory. I mean, it was a Black woman. Let me pull her up a little bit. She's a Black man. In a negative way. Let me listen to him. It's 3 minutes long. His name is KOO Ocha Yayo. I got one more person that I listen to. If I can find her. I do like Pam Gregory because she talks about world events and what could happen under the planets. Also, guys, we are at our, can't find the other person I listen to, Pluto anniversary of America, Pluto, the anniversary of Pluto. And we are at a space of starting over. And whatever we were doing 248 years ago, which was creating the new Americas, whatever mistakes that were made will get corrected. And the beginning of America was not pretty. And so do not expect the birthday events following, probably for the next Pluto's retrograde. I mean, Pluto is going to be in Aquarius for years. Probably for the whole time Pluto is in Aquarius. There's going to be huge adjustments. For America in particular, but Pluto is a universal planet, so all the world will have their experiences with Pluto. Oh, I can't find the other person I was looking for. That's all right. She shows up on my feed all the time. Not today. I don't really care. Right now, it's Pam Gregory and Molly McCoy. Those are my favorite. All right. I'm over it. So, moving on. Oh, wait. You could tell clearly I'm a little scatterbrained today. All right. Next story. So get your prayer rooms, guys, and see if it makes a difference in bringing a little extra peace into your life. They think it will. All right. Next story is Henry Dotton's son and namesake describes his deceased father as an individual who had deep instinct and good intuition. A native of Louisiana, the elder Dalton gave up plans for a career in medicine to pursue his interest in palmistry. A counselor whose method was palmistry based, Dalton gave consultations for more than 35 years out of his office in Chicago. My father had good ability at knowing. His son looks back. He could see things and tell them way ahead of time. Now, that is one of the things I am interested in, palmistry. Not my gift, so I don't pretend to know everything, but I absolutely love palmistry. Michelle Beverly Randolph, a physician and a philosopher, received his final initiation in the Supreme Grand Dome of the Order in Paris in June 1850. On the same occasion, he was given absolute right to establish the Rose Cross Lodge in America. Randolph wrote Rabelais, the Rosicrucian story, published in 1861, although labeled fiction, it is a mystical treatise. As such, it is a repository of his beliefs and experiences. I had already become a Rosicrucian, had passed through 5 degrees, and visited the Oriented, and was about to go again, had learned many dark and solemn mysteries, had instructed in several degrees of magic, knew all about the elixir of life, the power of will, the art of reading others' destinies, of constructing and using magic mirrors, and how to discover mines of precious metals. We proclaimed the opulence of will, and we declare practicality, and by our own achievements demonstrate the will of man to be a supreme and all-conquering force when once fairly brought into play. But this power is only negatively strong when exerted for merely selfish or personal ends, when or wherever it is called into action for good ends, nothing can withstand its force. Goodness is power, wherefore we take the best of care to cultivate the normal will, and thus render it a mighty and powerful engine for positive good. You cannot deceive a true Rosicrucian, for he soon learns how to read you through and through, as if you were a man of glass. The temple teaches its acolytes how to rebuild this regal faculty of the human soul, the will, how to strengthen, purify, expand, and intensify it. Now, the Rosicrucian, I thought, was a little bit of a sinister group. So I was a little afraid of the Rosicrucians. I didn't want to participate in something that goes against God, right? But this book has helped to expand my knowledge in things. So, Rosicrucianism is a spiritual and cultural movement that came out of the modern Europe, 17th century. Rosicrucianism is symbolized by the rosy cross. So it's a cross with a rose in the center. There have been many inspired organizations through this concept. There's even the Order of the Golden Cross. Um, what's their manifesto? Manifesto. Um, I would still tread lightly with. It's such a pretty cross, by the way, with the rose in the center. And I was drawn to it. However, um, I think I'm drawn to the visual of the cross with the rose in the center. Um, but like many groups, I feel like this group, I, I want to choose my words well. I feel like this group is capable um, of doing evil under the banner of Rosicrucian. So I don't know if I trust it 100%. Um, and you have to be careful when you're messing in this world. Like, you have to know when it's above your head and when to get out and when to leave something alone. And I feel that way with the Rosicrucians, but I feel that way because I honestly believe that it started out most likely as a good thing because it has Masonic rites attached to it, but it just depends the group that gets created under the Rosicrucian. Um, I just feel like there might be some hidden rituals and satanic rituals, and so I don't mess with it. But if I go by this book now and seen as Pascal Beverly Randolph is a Rosicrucian, um, it gives me an opportunity to not shut it down and maybe investigate some more. But this is also a very private group, so it's not like somebody's going to be like, it's not like Jehovah Witness where they're like, oh, come join us. Like, they're sizing you up, and they would be sizing you up not just for your gift, but for your secrecy. So, me personally, I just don't want to participate in anything that would bring evil on. And you don't know that until you enter a group. It's like joining a cult, right? You think you're joining a religious, feverish place, and you might be joining a cult, right? So, and we have that in regular churches every day, right? We have people that are like, which I hate, that are like, come join our church, or what denomination are you? And if you're like Baptist, they're like, It's like, bitch, don't try me. Like, don't do that. Because what? Because no one thing is greater than another thing. The objective is for you to participate in a bigger group so that you can get to God. But no one thing is better. No one church is better than any other church. They all have flaws. They all have flaws. It's designed that way. And I'm going to tell you why it's designed that way. Because if you make a mistake and believe that church is the end all, then you no longer believe in God. So the church is designed for the parishioners to see the flaws. Period. You are not allowed to go to church and think that your pastor or the building is the end all of your whole life. You will get hurt in the end. and I mean like spiritually. And you could, some churches you can get physically hurt, but spiritually hurt. Um, and God designs church that way. So you're gonna get disappointed. Just trust and believe that's the way it's set up. Because in the process, the way church is designed, you forget God. And that's the irony of church. All right, moving on. My back is bothering me, guys. Ah, is everyone doing okay? Ooh. All right. Does anyone have anything they'd like to add? Oh, child, everybody's quiet today. But that's okay. I like quiet. It's a very cloudy day out here today, and but it's still muggy. Still muggy. My God, why? Why the mugginess? All right. I'm going to the movies today, and I'm going to see. Let me tell you right now. Mm-hmm. Um, I'm going to see. Let me try this one. I sent somebody something else, so let me see if I can play this.
Power on. Have a good speaker. Bluetooth pairing mode.
Seconds.
Your Bluetooth device is connected.
I have no idea what movie I'm going to see. Some black movie. Hold on. I think it's called The Forge. Has anybody heard of the movie The Forge? I hope it's spiritual. It's about a black man and his exploration of the direction of his future. It's interesting. Forge. It's drama. A year out of high school with no plans for his future, a boy is challenged by his single mom and a successful businessman to start charting a better course for his life. Through the prayers of his mother and biblical discipleship from his new mentor, he begins discovering God's purpose for his life. And that is so much more than he could have hoped for or imagined. It's on the lines of The War Room. This is so exciting. Yes. Compelling, suspenseful, and spiritual. Oh, God knew what I needed today. I did not pick this movie. I had to change my plans with the people that I go to lunch with on Saturdays. And they're missing me. And so I'm trying to give back somehow. So I was like, do you want to go to the movies? And thank God she picked the movie. Yes, but it's my kind of movie. Yes, yes, yes. I love anything spiritual. I could do spirituality all day, every day. All right. Let's see if I can. Let's listen to this real quick.
Best mental health tips you'll ever hear is that if you feel like you hate everyone, eat. If you feel everyone hates you, sleep. If you feel like you hate yourself, shower. If you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts, write them down. If you feel stuck in the past, plan for the future. If you feel anxious about the future, focus on the present. If you feel restless, take a long walk. If you feel like giving up, remember a time you succeeded.
How pretty is that? Do you want to hear it again? I'll play it one more time. I love stuff like this.
The best mental health tips you'll ever hear is that if you feel like you hate everyone, eat. If you feel everyone hates you, sleep. If you feel like you hate yourself, shower. If you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts, write them down. If you feel stuck in the past, plan for the future. If you feel anxious about the future, focus on the present. If you feel restless, take a long walk. If you feel like giving up, remember a time you succeeded.
How pretty is that? All right. Moving on. Okay. For 70 years, James Spurgeon Jordan practiced herb doctoring supplemented with conjure work. In Manny's Neck Township, North Carolina, born in 1871, he spent his entire life. Written by F. Roy Johnson, the fabled Dr. Jim Jordan provides a description of how Jordan's uncle, Alan Vaughan, a conjure man, taught him around 1890 to read the cards and mix up herbs to control the spirits. Jordan's cousin, Josephine Minton, known for her skills as a midwife, herb doctor, and conjure woman, taught him patience, diagnosis, the effective administering of herbs, and how to read the palms. From his mother, whose knowledge about herbs was regarded as extraordinary, he first learned the plants and their remedies. By 1906, neighbors were calling him Jordan, a root doctor, and telling of his strange powers. His sister, Janie Mae, was to recollect this later. A nephew, in remembering the earlier days of Jordan's practice, recalled how he would search for a certain root or medicine to help a patient. In some instances, the root doctor would have the patient wait while he would go into the woods, stay an hour or more, come out, stop in the field, and look into the sky in a study about 15 minutes. Or look into the sky in a study about 15 minutes. I don't know what that means. In the community, he was known to have a frank and objective manner in personal and business matters. He was considered accommodating and helpful to others, fair and liberal in business. As his reputation grew, people came considerably distances for his advice and treatment. It was said of Jordan that he could cast off spells, get you out of trouble, find things, perform magic, and treat with medicine. Oh, we got to do the next one. Oh, I know this person. Yay! I know Lloyd Strayhorn. Yes. Oh my God. All right, hold on a second. So first, I want to tell you guys, I know this man, Lloyd Strayhorn, and his son. Let me see, is an IG friend of mine. Hold on. I think his guys. I need some soup in my life. Numbers and you. Okay, so Numbers and You is Lloyd Strahan's IG, Numbers and You, which I don't know why he didn't put Lloyd Strahan because such a famous name, right? In the circles. His dad was the IG person is about my age. His dad was an astrologer. This Lloyd Strahan, son, is a numbers guy, and he's so good at numbers. If you guys want a reading, which I have to get an updated reading by him because my life is definitely changing, and I'm mature enough to see the change in my face, and so I should get an updated reading from him. But in any case, when I was a kid, Lloyd Strayhorn, the astrologer, had a barbershop. And so my dad would take me to the barbershop. But the thing about barbershops, especially back in the day, you don't go to get the haircut. You go to talk. It's where men went to talk. And it's where they went for the male comrade, right? And it was a beautiful experience to watch men be men in a very natural habitat, right? And I would be like 4 or 5, and my dad would take me, not even my brother, he would take me. And I would sit there and listen to him talk. And when you have a gifted child, back in the day, kids nowadays are very gifted, but back in the day it was a little different. Gifted children are very quiet, and we find enjoyment with ourselves. Like, we don't need to play with other kids. We're fine. We've got spirits that we talk to, and this, that, and the third, and the plants will talk. Like, we're good. So my dad, I guess, knew he could take me, and I wouldn't make noise, and I never did. And I would find myself sitting under a table or sitting quiet in a chair and just listening to the men talk. And back in the day, they were very respectful men, so you never got like gross language, out of them. I never did, or maybe they just knew not to say anything too gross in front of a child. Actually, now I'm thinking about it in hindsight. And Lloyd Strayhorn had wrote a book that my dad had, and years later, I meet up with the Lloyd Strayhorn, the son, the numbers guy. And I was like, oh my God, it's 2 degrees of separation. I used to go to your dad's shop. And Lloyd would do hair and give readings, and he was amazing. In any case, the next story is about Lloyd Strayhorn. Years ago, Lloyd Strayhorn went to an astrologer who said his chart indicated he had died. Lloyd immediately knew to what he was referring. At 10 years old, while hiding during a game of Ring Alivio, He thought, wouldn't it be great to light a firecracker and put it in a gas tank of a car nearby? Every time I lit it, it went out. When I finally lighted it, one of the bigger boys came around. So I just ran off. About 10 years later, but before the astrological reading, Lloyd awoke in a cold sweat over that incident 10 years later. He realized what he had almost done. It's in things like that I realized that there is somebody out there watching over the kids. I said to myself, this is my second life. Born and raised in Harlem, Lloyd's strong affinity for that community is conveyed in his first statement that he has no plans ever to leave. When I was real tiny, 5 or 6, he recalls, I had a dream. I was over the table and I could see myself, my parents, and my sister. And I was up in the air near the ceiling, looking down on us. I have a better understanding of the universe and the creation through this study. Then from going to theological school, he concludes. From 1979, Lloyd has had a syndicated column as a numerologist. Oh, this is the Lloyd that I know. I think 1970 Lloyd is a syndicated columnist as a numerologist. No, 1979, this Lloyd that I know would be like 13 or 14. This has to be his dad. He has hosted a radio show in New York City since 1981. His book on numerology was published in 1980. The faith which imbued his life as an altar boy and later as a student at Virginia Union University, a theological seminary, continues to inspire him. At one time, he thought of becoming a minister, but then his life took a different direction. That's interesting. That's interesting because one time I thought of becoming a nun. Oh my God. I definitely would have been Whoopi in Sister Act, somebody once told me. Turn that church out. Introduced to numerology in 1969, yes, this is the dad, Lloyd recognized it as the compatible means through which he could express what he wanted to do in his life. I want to understand people and to help people understand themselves. You know, a lot of the ways these stories end is unnerving, which is why I got the bell. Because it just ends. Oh, he has 22,000 followers. Y'all got to follow Numbers and Me. That's nice. He's a good man. This is the son of the Lloyd. Why doesn't it say Junior, though? Let me play one of his for you guys. Boy, Strahan. The son. Let me play this one.
Is in the sign of Pisces. Your theme is about being passionate. Passionate about the things you do. Your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Pisces. Your theme is about being passionate. Passionate about the things you do. You know, they found that when people are into things and they're really passionate about it, Those are the ones that rise to the top like cream. Okay? So if you're going to do something, do it with passion, do it with feeling, do it with intention. This for all Pisces, this is not your month to be half stepping. If you're going to be in, be all in. If not, don't even get involved. Don't waste your time, because that is what's going to be required of you, to be passionate, also taking other people's consideration and what's happening for them, and all the things you have to do, and especially in the first week, because the first week is going to be a little challenging, because on the second, third, and fourth, the moon is going to be sitting in your opposition sign of Virgo, which is where their moon will be Virgos at this time too. Don't forget, you're in the sign of Virgo now. So with that being the case, you might find this period a little bit more challenging for you. Yes, this is for all Pisces. This is your opposition time of the year. And especially in those first 3 days coming out of the month, it says, be passionate, but keep it in perspective. Don't overdo it. Just moderation will probably be the key. And you'll feel much better around the second week, because you feel a deeper sense of order and purpose in your passions. But determining what are you passionate about. And
Let me see. That was nice. That was for Pisces. Oh, this is very nice. I love this man's channel. But I love anybody that does my work. All right, go check out Numbers in Me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Seems to have all the signs there. Well, it's in the Leo.
sun or your moon or your ascendant is in the sign of Leo. Being this month is unlimited. To have no limits, no bounds, no glass ceilings, no walls. To go as far as your mind and your heart can take you. I mean, it's just that simple. It's about fulfilling all the dreams that you and all Leos, not just you personally, Leo, but all Leos want to do. Okay, so the attitude is to think in a great way that ascends you to the stratosphere, as far as you're concerned. To not allow people to kind of keep you close to the earth, because you're designed to just go internationally, globally, universally. That is in the cards for all Leos this particular month. And especially in the first week, it's just going to be ridiculous. With Leos, especially on the very first day of the month, you can't tell them squat. They ready to kick this month, you know what, okay? And they're going to be taking charge. They're going to set the tone and the stage of what they want to do. And even in the second week, they're going to turn on this charm, this magical charm that's making them so persuasive, it's almost impossible to resist. But it's a request, but can you get this done? Or can you help me with that done? But the point is to think in unlimited boundaries with no borders, no restrictions, to go as high as your mind can take you. And this is very important, because for Leos this year, this month, if they're thinking small, that's the results they're going to get. If they're thinking large and wide and with no horizon or beyond the horizon, this is exactly what they're going to do. Now, in the third week, on the 15th and the 16th, when the moon is sitting in the opposition sign of Aquarius, they might be a little on edge. So they got to be a little careful, overextending themselves, not taking on too much that they can handle, because it's going to be an exciting month anyway. And so you don't want to get too overextended. And that's what that third week is saying. Take your time, but
All right. Go listen to Numbers in Me. His dad is in this book. I'm going to send him what I found. I'm so excited. It's so weird that you're reading a book that's so dated, and 2 degrees of separation, something comes through. I would have never expected that. But Lloyd was very, very famous in Harlem, and it was nice to have that experience as a little girl. My dad is also very gifted with numbers. And back in the day, we used to do something called, we New Yorkers used to do something called run numbers. And to be honest with you, it's from that system of running numbers that Black folks used to do that became so popular that the state took it over. And that's how we got the lottery. And the lottery started with 3 numbers a day because that's what we used to do, run numbers. So it's interesting what they will take from us because it was a moneymaker. And they had made it illegal in New York City, just going back to some history, and used to run numbers and go into this dive where people would be working behind booths, but it was a dive, and you would stand in line to put in your numbers, and the numbers would come out for the day. And then it went from midday was a set of numbers, and then there would be a set of numbers for the evening. And it was totally illegal the way New York had set it up, but it really wasn't illegal. Like, who determines? But it was so popular that they couldn't stop the number runs. It was like prohibition. You couldn't stop it. And so the state finally figured out, if you can't beat them, join them. And it became legal. And because they brought it on the table above board, then they put the number runners out of business. But we created the lottery system. I was there. I had family members working for running numbers and taking the numbers in. I don't know. It's just interesting. All right. I'm so excited to have a connection in this book to Lois Trejo. It's so cool. Life is so funny, so cool. I love this stuff. Okay. Let me get another story out. Let me, if you guys want a reading with me, I'm available today. So go ahead and book me, 213-458-7408. Okay. It is, okay. Hold on. James Black was considered by many of his colleagues one of the foremost practitioners of astrology, a master. He was self-educated in the field. In 1973, he was 77 years old with 30 students under his instructions. He had been casting and interpreting charts for over 40 years. His remaining goal was to convey the holiness of astrology to African Americans. The Chicago astrologer refused to counsel some people. If he sensed an individual could not confront information on weaknesses, loss, or damage that showed up in his or her chart, he would give no further sessions to that person. Wow. James Black taught that the dedicated astrologer is characterized by the willingness to be of service. This is so true. Helping people is more important to the earnest astrologer than monetary profits. Yeah. That's not my concept. I do believe in making money for your gift. And I do believe in not taking advantage of me because of my gift. So you have to pay. But the main part of me is to remember that in the end, I just want to help people and I don't forget my role. And a lot of times, guys, when I do readings, I end the reading saying, thank you, God. I know I helped today. Yeah, many times. So, and many times people just say, I feel so much better now. And that makes me feel good. Then I know I'm doing my job. So, helping people is more important than monetary profit. This is true, but pay me. Because I don't even charge a lot, but I do like that people will pay a lot of money and get mediocre work. Right? Which is why I don't charge a lot of money, because the way it stands right now, today, God has not given one person more of a gift than another. We are all with the same gifts, 1 degree, 2 degrees, plus or minus, but never 10 degrees. No, because again, I feel like the reason why this happens, of course, I think you can ask for it. My next job, everyone, is to ask for the eclipse energy, just so you know, is to ask for exemplary spiritual gifts. Exemplary. And I don't know what that looks like, but I'm asking for it. And what I ask for could come, will come, and also could scare me. So I just want to be emotionally prepared for what I'm asking for, because it's such a broad statement that I could get anything. But I want to be mentally prepared for the anything. But my next series of candle is going to be using gray candles, which you can't find gray candles anywhere. So I might have to make grayish looking candles. Silver candles. And silver and gray are colors for psychic spiritual development, in case you all didn't know. All right. So there you go. That's going to be my next series, and I'm probably going to do that for the next 6 months. Just ask for greater spiritual insight. All right, I'm done. I feel like I want to stop here. Does anybody care? Or maybe I should do the last one. I'm almost done though. Legacy of Second Sight. Let's see if I should finish the 3 long ones. Some years ago, Dr. Tanny Hill's aunt made him aware of his intuitivity. A perceiver herself, she acknowledged him to learn more of this aspect in himself. Of childhood, Don says, I do recall having conversations with people who weren't necessarily there, physically there. Information was given to me on how to do something. I didn't hear them or see them. I was just aware of the information. I would get an imprint on how to do it. For 3 years, he took classes in self-awareness, learned psychometry, photo analysis, tarot cards, and how to do straight psychic readings. My interest came through in healing. Every time I do the reading, I feel I'm doing a healing, psychic healing. A person has come away from the reading with a little bit more knowledge as to the control of their own destiny. Because that is basically what we are doing, explains the parapsychologist. Don counsels exceptional children. As you get in touch with the year 2000, more and more new age children come up. Some of the children may have been considered abnormal by parents and by the structure. Abnormal in the sense that they don't read well, may not hear, and are treated below normal. I find that many of the young people who have a slight difficulty with their peer group, they don't recognize quite as well because they are individuals who visualize a lot. They are dealing with an intuitive level and a telepathic level, and they are being given information by the universe. They are very unnerved a lot. I wonder if these are autistic kids because they are not in contact with the people who understand them, communicate with them on a correct level or on a telepathic level. These young people are extremely sensitive. Their skin, their sense of smell, their eyesight, their hearing. Usually their environment, whatever is bombarding them with pollution, noise pollution, sight pollution. Especially they become extremely uncomfortable and they wander around on the edge all the time. Some have to be given drugs to calm down. I see some of them and view that they are that type. They ask questions of myself and other readers who are sensitive to them that they wouldn't ask people around them normally. Or the reader might draw out one of the questions that they would ask. They would find some comfort in the fact that people are aware that they are different, but not negatively different. They are more gifted, more creative, more artistic, more telepathic. Don explains some of the ways in which he works with these children. I do a lot of ESP testing, which gives them an idea of what areas of intuitive level they are dealing with more easily or with more difficulty. I also give them practice sessions they can deal with on their own to increase the abilities they want. I give them reading materials they could pursue. Generally, I work with individuals between the ages of 3 and up, but 6 is probably the medium as far as teaching, generally between 6 and 20. Another population which Don counsels consists of individuals who have had contact with aliens and UFOs. There is a young man whom I have read for who feels that he has been contacted by UFOs, by aliens. He has a completely different energy around him. I have seen different people all over the East Coast, and he falls into the category of persons, I would say, who have been affected by an alien energy. His aura is altogether different. There are 2 who have the same auras, but they are from different geographical areas. Most of them are aware of some change. A lot of them are not aware of their past below a certain age. A lot of them have blanketed out a certain time. They look different. Their intelligence level is extremely high. They are dealing with visualization or telepathy. They seem to have the ability to read minds. Many of them are attracted to the star constellation Orion. Many of them are sensitive to the variations in energy as they drive down a road. In commenting on his work, Don said, one of the aspects of reading is that you are a service to people. Remember that. Your gift, whatever you have, has to be a service to others. You spiritually are advancing. Once you become a parapsychologist, you become the non-reality. The reality becomes non-reality. Reality for you is dealing with the psychic and with the spirituality. The average life becomes non-reality. A resident of Rochester, New York, Don Taney Hill was born in the state of Massachusetts. He is a psychic consultant, healer, and nutritionist. He gives consultations and workshops around the East Coast. I like that. It's raining now. Oh, I love the rain. Star seeds. Yes. Sport of Kings. Yes. That generation is called star seeds, right? Oh, look at Black Coffee, no cream. They ran numbers in Chicago too. Right. I remember my grandmother playing the numbers. Right, girl. And it was a black thing, right? It was a black thing. And because we could not stop running numbers, the lottery took over. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. I'm going to finish this out. I think this might be 2 more. The tarot makes the person aware of potential rather than fortune telling so much. I don't know the difference. Proclaims the tarot reader Chuck Wagner. I don't think it's like fatalism. A lot of people are afraid of the cards because of bad news, death, and all that. I don't think that is the purpose of a tarot reading. It certainly is not the purpose. The reading is to give a person hope. Also, to make them aware of what skills they need to solve problems on this plane of action. Chuck remarks that he was not always sure of himself and what the cards were saying, but whatever they are saying, it is always accurate. He has been reading cards since he was 5 years old, when spontaneously he understood how to read them. In the tarot, you can go right to the problem. Then, of course, the burden is, what are you going to do about it? I don't think you really have to do anything. Life goes on forever. You have many lifetimes to get it together. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. This is my last lifetime, guys. I am not coming back. This life. I mean, if God said anything, God's like, go to hell. Where's hell? Earth. Oh, hell no. You have many lifetimes to get it together. If you can make progress this lifetime, it is good. Chuck emphasized the messages behind tarot is basically, you are okay. If you are miserable, that's exactly where you have to be. Then you can start working your way out of it. Life is a place where you learn. I like that. Did you guys know that? Life is a place where you learn. I knew that, but I like the way he said it. Life is a place where you learn. I like that. There is no power in the universe that can improve a situation to the way you think, except you. The tarot gives a glimpse of people's subconscious. You can see what's going on inside of them, which they may not be aware of until they hear me verbalize it. They realize they have some control because the cards are making them to be aware of this. And that heretofore gave to someone else. Oh, a teacher, their mother, whoever was the picture of authority. I think that is the main thing people learn. They become what they think about. Thoughts are like seeds. We produce that seed, whether it's good or bad. Great singers sing their songs with great feelings, Chuck adds. They are planting that seed. A friend who is a singer refuses to do negative songs. They now have to be a statement. They now have to be a statement of what she wants. Oh, they, meaning the songs. Licensed and ordained a minister in childhood, Chuck used to read for people through the church. I got this information from the card. I said they would not go to heaven and lean on Jesus unless they reached it in earth. My God, people. So true. After that, the church said the devil really had him. Oh my God. He said, you can't go to heaven and lean on God. You got to do your job here. And then he called him the devil. Oh, I love it. But his grandmother, who never understood her grandson's card reading ability, validated his view. It made good sense to her. He reflected, I didn't think there was a capricious God who would have one baby born deaf and blind and another completely well, no problem. I thought it was because in life there was something to be learned. One had to learn here on this earth. God had nothing to do with it except to provide the space for that learning to take place. Chuck has lived in New York City for many years. Besides giving private readings, he teaches tarot. He occasionally featured on television and radio and has had cable television programs. Chuck clearly states young people are our salvation. He encouraged them to believe in themselves, dream big dreams, and not be afraid to express love. I like that part. You know how much I love love. All right. Wait, what? Oh, I did not know that. Delivery 9/26. All right. Oh, departed warehouse. All right. As a treat, you guys know one of the things that I love is the protective eye. And I have some protective eyes coming in. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 protective eyes. So when they come in, I am giving it away. I'm giving it away. So I'll give away at least one. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll give away at least 4 to my people, but I'm gonna have to 4, maybe 3. I'm gonna have to give away to my moderators as well. My moderators. Wait. I think I've got the same glasses as before. All right. September 8th. When it gets here, I'll give it away. So whoever likes the protective eye, I will be giving it away. Okay. Okay, final story. I heal with water, right? Alicia Teach. Now, she came up before in the earlier paragraph. Asserts in reply to questions on her work as a healer. I heal primarily with water. Other elements are always there: earth, air, fire. The earth is the herbs. The fire is the candle. The air is the incense and the spoken word. Put all that together, And the strongest element is a cleansing bath. People tell me that my voice is healing, that I have a knack for saying what goes right to the heart for their concern. In the storytelling, the tales themselves are healing, and that a real transformation takes place. Louise Tish is an ordained Yoruba priestess of the African goddess Oshun. Born in New Orleans, she moved to San Francisco Bay in 1971. The other priestly work that I had to do besides divining, and I do a lot of divining, is that I have been blessed with an energy that is good for bringing people of diverse backgrounds together in large public rituals. That is healing in the sense that one temporarily loses self-consciousness. You are not lying in your own pain. You are lifted, relieved of the feeling of the isolation and alienation, and learn how to mingle your energy with others in a healing way. Louisa tells of an experience which happened a few years ago. A woman with spinal meningitis couldn't get proper treatment. She was bounced around among medical facilities. Found on a doorstep, she was brought to Louisa's home. It is not that I individually did so much for her, but somehow the kindred that have helped. I'm a family member with people who have a number of healing skills. And when I put out the call that I had someone sick here, a number of people responded with various skills. And we together were able to get her on her feet. That's the way it is a lot of times. Somehow I see myself as the matrix of the healing circle. Most of the times when I do cleansing baths for somebody, I do not do it by myself. I really feel that almost any condition is made better by the one who is down being touched by 3 people who are concerned about the person's well-being. I don't think you have to have the knowledge of herbs or really have to have the knowledge of water healing. If somebody is sick and there are 3 other people who care about that person and who will put their hands on that person, their intentions will make her or him measurably better. Other things may be needed to make the person well, but basically, there is that transference of energy. I do believe in contagious consciousness, Louisa concludes, with people far, far away whom you cannot reach through material means and who cannot experience you directly. You have to teach them in a form of energy and thought transference. It is good learning for you and for others. At night, a vague but discernible mist appeared as a barrier in Charles' room shortly after father had moved out of the home. His mother, who noticed it, felt uneasy as she entered her son's place, and was her habit to cover and kiss him as he slept. I used to do that to my son every night. I used to go into his room, recover him, and kiss him on his forehead. I loved that. Over a few weeks' time, she sent a presence building that in its final construct seemed both formidable, and benign. Stationed beside the not quite 2-year-old's door floated a silvery, vaporous form that radiated watchfulness, regularly perceived by her on her nightly rounds. To protect her child, late one night, she decided to confront the presence. At the door, the wispy sentinel, with luminous spear upraised, intended her retreat, and she was forced back. Then, in a dream-filled sleep, she was borne away, captivating till morning. Through the imprints of those dreams, she was told that which stood watch over her son It was neither guardian angel nor evil one. She learned that her child, with close ties to his father's cut, had reached an insecure point in the brief span of his present incarnation. He was turning to a former self for succor. The mother was shown the spot in the boy's auric space from which he had vacuumed the essence of one of his stronger identities from another's dimension to stand vigil over his small, powerless body. She came to realize that this protective entity was endowed with life by him. Its presence would not manifest during the day, but at night. The consciousness that dwelled in the fully solid little brown body, lying in bed and nursing print pajamas and creating an earlier existence of etheric matter, but intense and consecrated in his loving vigil, was the Roman officer who stood in full military dress, brightness emitting from his helmet, from his reflecting chest plate, and from his weapon. Awakening from her dream, she withdrew from fear. With new maternal confidence, she saw the singleness of purpose that blended the two, the child and the centurion, into an integrated wholeness. It was all about healing. Her son was healing himself. Physical existence settled. The hard edges of life changes softened. The apparition gradually faded from its assigned post.
One, three, four,
Hardly
zero,
a month had
six,
passed, the soul
four,
quit his
three,
station
7,
forever.
8,
Hold on,
2,
guys.
2.
I don't get this.
One, 3,
Okay, guys,
4,
I'm gonna
0,
get going. I love
6,
you dearly. Take
4,
it easy. Bye.
3, 7.
I don't know how we got disconnected.
Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live.